Good morning, my good people. Good afternoon, and also good evening. How have you been doing? Let me start with a question for you. You're looking to move into renewables, or maybe you're already into renewables. How much are you earning? How much can you make working in the renewable? Are you satisfied working in the renewables? Are you making enough money? Is it worth it for you to be in the sector, or is it worth it for you to move into the sector? Here are the kind of questions that's going to everybody's mind at some point in time. Whether you already in the sector or you're moving into the sector. And the response to this question are actually quite critical to determine whether you're very happy where you are or you're looking to move. And we shouldn't be shying away for these kind of questions. Because I have been going through this kind of question and I wanted to discuss that with you today, face to face. So this is what we're going to be asking and responding today. How much can I really earn when I work in the renewables? If you're interested, just stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you some very important, crucial information. Stay tuned, guys. Hello, everybody. Back again. So my name is Anthony. I'm the founder of Renewables. We are the global community knowledge center. What is our role? Very simple. We wanted to lift the prize of the energy. We provide you with information that you separate right? So you have that element, right? And also you can discuss it. You can tell us anything, and you can tell you what you think, and what you see is the inside out. Right? And the challenge open for everybody, right? Whether you're an investor looking to invest further into the sector, or you're looking for people to look at the family, whether you can go ahead or not, or whether you are a business looking to bring new solutions that's going to make your business plan hold new solutions that you want. Or, that's a question of anyway, you can always have to go to the person today. That's a question you are making another sector, you're going to look into renewable, and you want to find out, is it worth it? So what is it all about? Where can I fit in? Where can I slot in? Where can I get the relevant information for me to take the decision that I need to take? Hey, and here you have all the information. If you haven't done it yet, I want you to subscribe to all our channels, right? Because we actually broadcasting for many channels. So we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, and we also have Telegram now. So you have 5 channels for you. So I want you to make sure that you do it right now if you haven't done it yet. Just subscribe to any of our channel, leave a comment, but also share the information with everybody that you know. Because when we share an insight like that for you, right, we're able to connect and pass on the information. And we're also able to connect your feedback because it may be that the information that we're sharing is not, how can I say, interesting enough for you to bring in your people. Not a problem. We're happy to take on the criticism as well. But just connect, just engage, and tell us what you think. So that's what we're talking about. And like I say, in our channel, especially on our YouTube channel, you will see we have multiple videos, right? Also on the LinkedIn, multiple videos. All those channels, you see are multiple videos. Just tap into the one that interests you the most and comment, leave a message, and tell us what you think. But because this is what it's all about today. And the question we very much going to be responding to, it's that I mentioned, which is how much can I really earn, right? How much can you really earn? So is it important for you at all? That's the information I want to know. Because why do you want to know how much you're going to be earning, right? Like I say, it's also important to have a real conversation with ourselves to see what people really are thinking and to understand what actually is going through their concern. Because I can tell you my personal story. When I was looking to move into the sector, right, I was very interested, but at the same time, I was a bit anxious to see, am I really going to be making money, right? Does it really make sense? And also, for many of you, we have families. If you have families, so you can't just jump and not take into consideration what they're thinking. Even if you don't have family, you're a new guy. Let's imagine, for example, you're a banker. You're thinking of maybe moving to the sector because, let's say, it's appeal more to your principle of life and you feel like you're going to be doing something as well to contribute to be a better society. But you want to know, okay, I want to save the planet, but at least would I be able to save myself? Because if I can't save myself, I can't go very far. If you remember, so those of you actually taking, have been flying, right? Many of us have obviously flown already at least once in our lifetime. Usually, what they say is when you come into, and that's the instruction that you get, right? So if you ever come across a situation whereby you need to be wearing your life jacket, what is that they're saying? And also your oxygen mask. Just wear yours first before you can put in one to your kids, right? To your child. So that's exactly the same case here. So I want to make sure that you understand how much you're going to be earning. You understand where you're stepping your foot into, so that you are very happy, you are clear with that, and you then can say, yes, that's the right choice for me, or maybe not, it's not the right choice for me. And in case it's not the right choice for you, okay, you may be looking at, okay, it may not be the right choice for me to move completely in the sector, but what can I do? What can I do? What can I help? How can I do? What can I do to help? It's still going to be valuable. So this is the reason I want you to have this information, so that you will know exactly what we're talking about. And let me say as well, so because I know a number of you are watching me just right now, live now, just drop in the comments. So let me know, what do you think? So how much are you really earning? For people already in the sector, can you share this information? Because I'm going to be sharing some information. Some of you would agree, other won't, but I want to know, what are you thinking? What is your opinion? And by the way, even after I finish that, I want you to make sure that you ask me questions, because I'm here to respond to your question. I'm here to give you the insight that may be interesting for you to make a decision. Because some of you may be just on the cusp of making that choice, but they were missing that one single vital information. And I'm here for you to give it to you, because I've done the move before. I used to work in automotive before, right? So I've decided to switch, and I did it, right? And I'm working on it right now. So clearly, I'm going to give you the informations about my personal story as well. But first of all, what I want to share with you, it's how much you guys can earn if you work in the sector. And what I will share with you, like the two type of information, I consider that, let's imagine, because most likely that's going to be the initial case, right? You're going to be working for somebody. You're going to be working for a company, right? Because if you set up your own company, that's something slightly different, and we're going to talk about that just after I share with you the information. But most likely, when you start, right, you're going to go and work for another company, and you want to know how much is this guy going to be paying you, right? So let me just go ahead and share the information with you. But before that, it's fair to say as well that it very much will depend on what type of role you are doing, isn't it? Yeah. So, and what I will share and describe with you, once you can understand what is the breakdown for this information, then you'll be able to find out. So, the information that I'm going to be sharing just in a minute is actually coming from a report which is published once a year, which is called the Getty Report, right? So it stands for Global Talent, I think, Global Energy Talent Index. Oh, by the way, Renewables in Africa, our company is usually a partner in this report that publishes that. And what is that they do? The report actually will survey a lot of people across the energy sector in the world globally to come up with a report that compares what are the situations from every continent, different continent, and kind of bring like yourself an equivalence in what people are earning. So what I share with you is a good representative of actually what people are earning in the energy sector across the world. And obviously, in this particular case, what I've decided to do is to focus very much on the renewable energy sector. And I can see more and more people are watching us. That's great. Keep on sharing the information, because I'm sure that'll be interesting for you. And this is what you want to find out. How much are you going to be earning? I see I haven't received any comments. It means that you have no information at all. I'm sure there are some people already working and said, tell me, how much are you earning, or how much do you think you could be earning, right? So, and I'll be able to compare that with what I'm going to share with you right now. So let's just go ahead. I know I talked about that a little while. It's time now to reveal how much you guys are going to be sharing. So, and here is the information. Yeah, here is the information. Hopefully, all of you can see that and you can see properly. And as I say, this information is coming from the Getty report, which is the Global Energy Talent Index, right? So feel free, by the way, because obviously I can't show you the full report here, but feel free, guys, to Google it, and you'll find the information is available for free. as long as you type it on Google, and you will see obviously renewables in Africa is one of the partner of it. And basically, and that's a report that talks about all the different sectors in energy, right? Because the renewable is very much part of the energy sector. But what I'm sharing here today, it's simply the renewables, and you can see the spread in here. So we're talking about different area here. We're talking about Africa, Asia, or Australia, Asia. You have the CIS, Europe, Latin America, Middle East, and so on and so forth, right? So you could see that. And as you can see, it depends, as I was saying before, what kind of uh, job or role you are doing. Depending on that, then you have an idea how much you're going to be earning. And by the way, those obviously salaries, right, has been sort of converted into USD dollar, and sort of with sort of a equivalent system for you to have an understanding. Because I guess as well, you will need to take into consideration the how would I call it, the living standard, yeah. So which means that the real amount that you're going to be you could be earning, for example, in Asia or in Africa, will be different than North America. But what we've been looking to do here is to apply an equivalent system so that what you see, you have an average of what it will equate to if it was reported to a living standard, for example, in Europe and America. So hopefully it makes a little bit sense. And what do we see? We see here that actually the average it's about, for example, in Africa, we're talking about $54,000 for the year, right? In Europe, it's higher, it's 63, Middle East 53, and you can see in Australasia, it's even more than that, in 101, right? So that means, just information I'm giving you, what does that mean? It means that if you really want to be making a lot of money, you know where to go, right? Just based on this information alone that I'm sharing with you, right? So you know where to go. You know where to go and apply for the job. And that's the kind of information some of you are actually missing. Yeah? Some of you are actually missing. And because they're missing those information, they not decided to go and make the right choice. So now if we actually drill down a little bit, right, you understand how we actually break it down into. So you can see if you're biomass engineer, if you're business development manager, structured engineer, you can see how much you're earning, right? So you could be telling me, okay, all of that, those are technical skills. So the one thing also that's quite fair to say is yes. In fact, moving to the sector, it's a little bit easier when you have a technical skill, but it doesn't mean that that's only that. It doesn't mean that it only relates to that, right? So obviously, what I've always said, and by the way, we have a very excellent course on that for people who are looking to move into the sector from a different industry. And I'm going to be pasting the link in the comment later on for those of you who are interested by this course. It's only, like I say, it's only a 90-minute course, and like I say, very much affordable. I'm sure all of you wouldn't mind doing it. But what it does is breaking it down. What are the steps you can take from where you are right now to move into the sector, and actually sort of depicts the path that I followed when I did that. But back into the information. What was I saying? Yeah, a lot of it's you have technical skills, right? But not necessarily, not only, right? Because you can see, for example, if you're a commercial manager here, so I would like to say yes, it's good to have some technical skills, but for commercial manager, you could be completely coming from a completely non-technical background, right, and still being a commercial manager. And you can see you can achieve here a very good amount of money, right? So that's what you want to see. And also it depends, like any industry, it depends on the actual role that you'll be doing. The more responsibility that you have, obviously, the more you're going to be earning. What I'm saying is actually, if you're a manager and you're managing a team, you're managing a project, obviously, because you have big responsibility on your shoulder, then obviously it's going to be you're going to be earning a lot more money. I know some of you may be saying that, oh, actually, on the bottom right, I can't see because I see the picture of Tony here. So what is the information there? Let me just change the format just for a minute so that you could see. For example, if you're not North America, you're a HSC manager, you can see you earn about 84,000. So I don't know. So does it mean anything for you right now? I can see all of a sudden now I have a few comments. I'm more than two actually. I have Veronica, Albert, that's Babatunde as well. Excellent, excellent. What are you thinking about that? So what is your reflection? What is it actually meant for you, right? So I'm sharing this information, but let me share also the second page, because that's not just all of it, right? There's more of it. And like I say, so this is what it's all about. You want to know, you want to get the knowledge you need, before you actually even step in. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta follow us, guy. So make sure, all of you watching, if you haven't subscribed yet to a YouTube channel or something, do it right now, today. Because like I said, these are the kind of information that you're missing. And because you're missing that, you hesitant. You don't know where to go, right? You almost like want to be guessing. You don't want to be guessing if you have the right information, right? So let's back on here. I was going to share the second page, and this is what I'm going to do right now. Yeah. So same thing. So if you're a marine engineer, if you are an operation manager, project engineer, so you could see how much you're going to be earning, right? If you're a renewable energy consultant, if you're in a wind farm, could you see? Yes. So, and you can see that's quite interesting, right? So if you're a wind turbine technician, and this, for example, here was in North America, you can see that you're really not earning that much, right? So what I'm saying here is, if it happens that wind is a sector that you very much like, but you want to limit yourself, or to be honest, I'm sorry, I feel bad saying limited, because that's not the right word, probably, because I think you shouldn't be underestimating what anybody is doing. But I'm saying, with all due respect, if you decide to be a technician, you need to be aware that if you're North America, you may not be earning much, and even all those regions, actually, you may not be earning much. In that sense, so you shouldn't be frustrated. You should then be plan your life accordingly. And if you're doing that, then that is fine. But if you want to have, let's say, a much more comfortable lifestyle, you want to know that uh, stopping at technician level may actually be a little bit restrictive. This is actually what I want to say. But as long as you're happy with that and you can plan your life according, nothing wrong at all. Everybody's needed here, right? That's what I wanted to say. If you're a solar engineer, same thing, right? And if you happen to be a solar engineer, so what region is this one? Let me just go back. I think that was when I see the 28,000. I think that was in Europe. Let me check. Latin America. Latin America. Okay. So then, Latin America, in comparison, like I said, all of that has been harmonized, right? So at least we can have comparable figures. What I'm saying here is, it doesn't mean that you will actually really earn, for example, 43,000 in Africa. No, clearly not, because the currency here is completely different. But in the country, you will have the lifestyle of somebody who will be earning maybe 43,000 in another place. This is what I'm simply looking to see here. Hopefully, it makes sense. Yeah. So that's what I want to say. So that means then it gives you an idea where you want to go, right? And based on that, you can plan accordingly. You can look at what skills you have. You can also look at what training should I need to make sure that when I approach the sector, I go towards this path, right? And even if I'm already in the sector, I have an idea where should I go, right? And this I'm saying, this information is free, right? And we're here to share those kind of information with you. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that everything renewables in Africa is doing is free. That's not correct, right? Because obviously we are a private company, and a lot of it. Some of you, if you have more detailed information, feel free to reach out to us, and then we can look at that in detail. But obviously, we have some services that could be of interest for you. One of which, it's obviously, if you want to raise awareness about your product and services, you want to reach out better to your clientele, and obviously increase your sales perspective. Definitely make sure they reach out to us, because we have an excellent program that allow you to do that. Okay, let's go back. So looking at that again, that's how much you actually earning, right? So if you are if you're salary worker, but some of you can be then saying, hey, I actually prefer working on contract. Yeah. I don't want to be tied into a company. I just want to do my contract and I'm gone. Not a problem, right? Because I have the information here for you. Let me just keep it on sharing. But let me stop first of all and say, guys, so how does it feel for you to have this kind of information? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel like it helps you a little more to decide where you want to go? If yeah, just drop in the comments. Just tell me what you're thinking. Yeah, and then drop some question as well, because I would love in here to be asking, to be answering some questions, right? To see what does that mean for you. Feel free to challenge as well, because you may have some better information that I don't have just yet. In which case, I'll be excited just to respond to respond and discuss it with you today. Yeah. So, but if I don't have anything better, so somebody's asking me, can we Albert to say, can we have a link to this chart? Well, basically the you this is coming from a report. So what I can do later on, it's if you reach out, I can give you I can give you the link to the report. I can even share the report with you, but you got to link us with us. So this is how we actually are providing. How can I say that? We're rewarding people that are watching us. I'm just half joking, guys. So yeah. Otherwise, you can do the research. I already said it's free on internet on Google, right? So you can go there, type it, get a report, you find it. But if you find it a little bit lazy, I understand it, right? So you want me to, or my colleague to send it directly to you, I'm happy to do it, but you got to reach out. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. So I can see as well some information there. Oh, great. There's some question coming. Brilliant, excellent. So Albert say he understood. No problem, guys. So I'm gonna come back to your remark, by the way, right? Just stay there. So I love having you. So following. So back into the information. So that's what I was sharing before. Now let me move. Now, if you are a contractor, you say you just want to work on contracts. So what is the average? So same rationale to the different continent, as I mentioned, and also different breakdown in terms of the job that you're doing, right? You can see that the average will be about 374. That's for Africa. 391 Asia. The highest here would be what? It's North America. Again, like I say, this has been harmonized, right? Let me repeat that again, right? It means that because of the currency difference. So don't expect that that's exactly this amount that you're going to be getting in every continent that are not in developed country, but it has been harmonized to say what you'll be getting in, let's say, let's say for example in let me make this up, in Morocco, right? So it will be equivalent to what somebody, for example, in North America will be getting if you had 374. It's been harmonized like that. Just say to have uh, um, a comparable, a platform, right? So hopefully you've understood that. I know you're very clever, so I'm sure all of you have understood it, right? So if somebody hasn't understood it, again, reach out to me. We can maybe discuss it a little bit more. But go on the principle that you've all understood that, because you're all very clever people. You're all for renewables in Africa. You're all readers, and you say, hey, that's fine. I'm watching the live on a regular basis, and I know what Tony is talking about. Let me continue, right? Excellent. And that's what it's all about, right? So that's what my sermon today is all about. So if you were a biomass engineer, a business development manager, you can see the breakdown here. It allows you to see where you need to go, where you need to be where you need to, what area you need to be you need to target. So that means if you need to reorient your career, you have an idea. If you work in another sector and you want to jump into into the industry, you have an idea where you need to be, where you need to focus at your time, right? You need to focus your time, and yeah, and so on and so forth. So if you want to move area, if you, for example, don't mind relocating, yeah, you also again have an idea, so that there is no big surprise whatsoever. But if it happened that you like in particular a region, you want to just stay there, not a problem. All I'm saying here is, as long as you are aware of this and you're making a conscious choice, then it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. So last information, and after that, let's have a discussion. So that's what I had here as well. So for yeah for the contract, and as I say, people that are reaching out to me, yeah, i'll be uh, uh, I'll be happy to just maybe send the email to you, so that you can have the information direct. Yeah. Okay. That's absolutely fine. So let me just stop sharing here, so because I think hopefully all of you, if you can also like you just have a screen grab, you can get those information. And obviously, if you again really struggle, simple guy, you simply just have to rewatch again the video, right? Because as I say, it's available on YouTube, it's available on LinkedIn, it's available on Facebook, it's available on Twitter, it's available on Telegram. You just have to rewatch it and you'll be able to take screen grab, and there you go, you have the information. But like I say, if you want us to email that to you, no problem, reach out, right? So and we can also send that to you. So that's what it is if you're a salary employer employee, right? So how much can you earn? Hopefully those tables respond to you. But there is a but, and I want to sort of finish my talk on that before I move into the questions, if there is any question. So that's why I say that salaried employee. Yeah. Because most of the time when you get into the industry, just me, when I enter working for somebody else, for another company. But some of you may be at the point where they want to be working for themselves. Yeah, they work for themselves because they're already in the sector now, would go and move on work for themselves. Or they completely want to jump and start working for themselves as well at the same time. Not a problem, nothing is wrong. So in this case, this is the path of an entrepreneur, right? So you're becoming a renewable energy entrepreneur. And this obviously it's a completely different mindset because you need to be setting up a business. You need to be finding out so who are your right customers. You need to be developing an offer that matches a market. And you need to be then build a business around that. That means you need to have the right marketing. You need to have the right operation. You need to have the right sales and so on and so forth. The right team as well. If you're more than just one of you, and it's completely different. And in this scenario, right? So I'm almost gonna say there is no limit on what you could earn. It goes from zero from plus 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 plus. If you don't believe me, just look at all big entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, for example. That's probably the best example, right, these days, because that's the richest guy on planet. Yeah. And then and obviously he's the owner of Tesla, as we all know. But he's not the only billionaire. Because if you look at one of our video again, and like I said, I'll talk about multiple videos that were done in the past. You will see there is a video where I'm talking about the billionaires into renewables, right? So I've talking about I think the top 7 billionaires, something like that. I can't remember exactly the title in the world, but I also talk about some billionaires in Africa. If you happen to be in Africa, you want to know who they are. So then you can see that's what I'm saying. If you want them to become an entrepreneur, there's no limit on what you could be really achieving. It really now relies on you, really. And if you happen to be wanting to move into solar entrepreneurship, that's great because again, we have a course for people that want to take on the baton and move into solar entrepreneurship, want to become a solar entrepreneur. What I do, I definitely make sure that I drop all those links because I talk about 2 courses today. I talk about one course that tells you how you move from another sector into renewables. What are the steps, right, that we've identified that could help you to make this happen for you? And then for people that would then want to go further, to say, hey, I'm already in the sector, but I know how to, or I know what to do to get into the sector. What I need now is, as a solo entrepreneur, what is that I need to do? And how do I go from I have no experience at all, no knowledge at all, to I have the right level of expertise in order for me to develop that? I'll share those 2 with you later on in a link. Just make sure that you look at some of the links that are posted on the chats below, both on LinkedIn and on YouTube, and you have the response to that. And hopefully, this will respond to your question. So the question is, how much can I earn? Well, as an employee, I've shared some table with you, so you could see, right? So it goes very much, between 20,000 all the way to 100,000, right, per year annually. That's what you get. But I'm sure you can go more, right? The more talented you are. So that's as an employee. As an entrepreneur, sky is the limit. It goes from 0, if you're not talented at all, to billions. So that's the response to the question. Hopefully that was satisfactory to you. So without further ado, gentlemen, ladies, so we're just going to be moving to questions. I know there was a number of comments here. I just want to make sure, as usual, that I go to all of them. And I will address them as much as possible. I know it's a little bit of a long session today, but I knew there will be some interest around this topic. So let's move directly into the question or comments. Okay, we're not back. That's fine now. I'm just going around to what feedback my really showing so much of the outside do, and that's how we go after that, right? Okay, so what is the plan? Veronica is saying, hi everyone, nice to meet you. Excellent, Veronica, we're happy to have you as well. So what else? Veronica, after the interesting, with the weekend, I need to talk, I guess I'm reaching out, I'm reaching out from, okay, any cash, anything like that. So that means that I feel so that means I'm 45, so anything like that, we have a, so thanks for the information. That's Babatunde. Babatunde, I know him very well. Oh, by the way, guy, let me also announce it. Babatunde is going to be a guest to our next live next Sunday. So make sure that you don't miss it. Right, he has a lot he wants to say. Thanks for connecting, Babatunde. Veronica is saying this knowledge is great because renewable energy sector is fairly new in Africa. People need to know what they can earn to inform. Exactly, that's the whole point of of this discussion today. Because I know that it's not a common topic, right? And also something sometimes some people are shying away because I know me the first that we want to be saving the planet as well. We want to be doing our bit, but we have families. We need to feed our families, and we also need to make sure that we have a decent lifestyle. Absolutely normal. That these are conversations we need to have, right? This is also why we're not shy. We're not afraid to say that. Hey, we love doing what we're doing. Renewables in Africa, for example, but we're a business. And as a business, we need to make money because the more money I make, the more I could help potentially. Yeah. And I want you not to be afraid of saying that. It's also about money. It's about money. I need to get you the information because I don't want you to leave the sector because you believe there is no money at all. There is money. You just have to know where to go, like any sector, right? So that's what it's all about. I also want you not to be disappointed, right? Or at the same time, I don't want you to be too surprised if you make a lot of money. Yes, and that's what it's all about. We need to sort of, we don't need to. How can I say that? I don't want to have a taboo around that. It's about understanding. It's about making money, guys. How can I make money and make sure that I still contribute? That's what it's all about. And everything we're doing with renewables in Africa is matching that. We are a business. We making money. We want to make money, and we want more people to make money with us. And by doing that, this is how we want to make sure that we look after ourselves, we look after our people, and we look after our planet. Yeah. So that's what it's all about. So let me just carry on. So yeah, I'll say yeah, it does make me realize. So are you not gonna go and renegotiate with your boss if you have a boss? So okay, what I have Emmanuel was saying, I'm a senior electrical engineer with more than 14 years experience with 6 years on manager role. Now I earn a salary around $9. Is that nine annual? Okay. Can you help me to get better payment? No, listen, I can't do the negotiation for you. What I've shared with you here, as I say, and also like I said, you have to put that into context. I've said from the beginning that the figures have been sort of harmonized, right? So that we can have a comparable platform, right? Because you know the living standard. I don't know where you live at the moment, but the living standard. So from your name, it looks like you could be in Ethiopia potentially. So the living standard in Ethiopia will not be the same, for example, in Germany. Clearly not. Let's not kid ourselves. So that means your 9,000 US dollar, it could be equivalent, I don't know, maybe to somebody earning 30,000, 40,000 in Germany. This is what I'm saying, because it's all about living standard, isn't it? Right? Because I can tell you, the guy, for example, who's earning the UK, let's say 30,000, you may be saying that's great money. But if you're looking at, especially with inflation going that high, what the guy, once he pay for his rent, right? He pay for school fees, he's paid for transport, he's paid for food, he got nothing left. And you may be with 9,000 being able to be left with maybe still 1,000 at the end of it. Yeah. So that's put into context. I just wanted to make that clear. So okay, Albert say, I appreciate, I understand. Okay. Good day, delegates watching from Namibia. Hey, Daniel, how are you doing from Namibia? I'm pleased. I love it when I see people from different countries. I just love it. Yeah. So I've not been in Namibia yet, but I've been in Botswana. So Namibia, so probably one of the countries I want to tap into. So so I'm an electrical engineer, business development supervisor. We are interested in renewables in Africa, but curious about feed-in tariff and guarantee. Oh, feed-in tariff and guarantee. What is that exactly? You want to know? So we can potentially discuss that. So happy as well to have a separate conversation with you. But as I say, a disclaimer: we're talking about money here, so just bear in mind that we're happy through live that we do like that to provide some information for free. But obviously, for people that want to go slightly deeper, it's fair to say that happy to have a discussion, but you also would understand that this is the service that we're providing and we charge for that. Yeah. So I'm making no apologies for that. So Baba Tunde, yeah, that okay. Okay, I think Songo is watching to Babatunde. Yeah, Babatunde is going to be a guest here. That's the same thing, guys. If you want to be a guest to our show, yeah, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Tell me what is that you're doing, and we can look at that. If then I have a topic because Babatunde, I've talked to him, so it happened that he's doing something interesting, and we're looking to do a topic around that. So we're actually inviting him, and that's good for you because it gives you some free publicity for whatever you're doing, especially if you're a business. Yeah, excellent. So yeah, Babatunde was saying, thanks, I would love to be part of the event. You're gonna be part, obviously. That has already been agreed. I think that's all the information that I had for today. So I don't know if there's any extra questions that one of you uh does have. So if yes, then I'm happy to respond to that. But otherwise, I'm also happy to call it today because I know I have been slightly longer than usual because I knew that this topic was going to attract a lot of attention. And I definitely wanted to share the information with you because, as I say, so jokes aside, it's so important to understand how you can plan your life accordingly by tapping into the sector. Because I'll tell you one thing, if the money ain't right, you're not going to stay long. That's for sure. Guaranteed. One more another, at some point in time, you're going to be moving on. And I can tell you as well that that's one of the things that the sector is also struggling with because at the moment, there's many sectors, especially technology, competing for talent, right? And then it's almost like if you're watching football, if you're saying like Kylian Mbappe, right? He was meant to go to Real Madrid. Everybody knew, even me. I was certain the guy was going to Real Madrid. All of a sudden, yesterday, we all heard that he finally stayed in Paris. So, and I was like, what happened? I would have gone to Madrid, right? So, no disrespect to Paris if you're a Paris supporter, but I don't think it's the same thing, right? But I'm sure there's a big money question, at the end of it. And from what I read, yes. So yeah, so he negotiated something quite substantial, not just directly from the money he's getting from the club, but also the control that it keeps, over the image, right? And yeah, because football, as you know, big money, right? But this is not the topic of today because I'm not a specialist in football. I'm just a pure supporter, right? And then I enjoy watching it. So I have one last question that I can see. Emmanuel was saying, is it still small compared to international company in Ethiopia? I'm open to. Oh, it's still small. I'm open to new position. Yeah, no, Emmanuel. So I can't contact you. I want to be clear, guys. My role is not here to contact you on each of you. I just can't, right? Because with the level of engagement that I have these days, I'm extremely busy. I just can't contact you a bit. No, that this is not my job. My job is to, as much as I can, is to share the information, and for you as big people to make the step necessary to go and make it happen for yourself, right? So that I want you to be clear. I want you to be clear about that. My job is not here to say, "Hey, how are you, Emmanuel?" So no, that's not what I do. And I say, Emmanuel, I'm happy to go on to have sort of consultation one-on-one basis. But Emmanuel, so you don't understand this is the service that we're providing, and that say you need to be able to put your hand in your pocket. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. So let's be clear. So I also want to, like I say that unapologetically because it's about money as well, guys. Yeah. You need to make sure that your money is right for you to continue. Because if I wasn't doing that, like I say, renewables in Africa, for example, I love your question. Thanks for for saying that. I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, but I also want to say for all of us to understand that we need to talk about that without any problem and recognize that the money aspect is very important, because a lot of us jump into the sector, right? Only focus on the I want to save the planet without making sure that we actually saving ourselves first, and we ended up not realizing ourselves because first of us, because along the way we just found ourselves so much in trouble. We just have to exit the sector. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So that's why, because it's something I have had to deal with for me, and I'm also dealing with as I'm speaking right now or every day. I want to share this question, so all of us have this in mind when we're making crucial information, a crucial decision for us. Yeah. So hopefully you get it the right way, Emmanuel. So as I say, with this information, hopefully that will allow you to get as much as much information as you need. As I say, go and download the report, read the report entirely. For example, I can give you a tip. Look at the companies that maybe sponsor the report. Look at which of these companies, for example, is in Ethiopia. Can you reach out to them and tell them, listen, you sponsor this report, which saying that, yeah, that's the grid tariff. So does it mean that with what I have as a degree, I should also expect something similar? I will beg you, Emmanuel, be creative. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, you understood that right. And hopefully, anybody with the same kind of request that Emmanuel can understand it this way. I'm happy, delighted to help you this way. Unfortunately, the restricted time, like as you can see, we're on a Sunday, that I have doesn't allow me to reach out to you on the person by person basis. I just can't. Otherwise, that's only what I will be doing. I will not be able to make the money I need for my company for me to liberate some free time that I can where I can give some insight like that for free. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. Excellent guys. So I don't know if there's any more questions. Oh yeah. So Brian was saying, okay, do you think the Russo-Ukrainian war will slow down the transition since European country may fancy going back to coal? That's interesting questions. That I have discussed in one of the previous video. Again, may I invite you, Brian, everybody to look at that. But let me respond to that. Because like I say, I always appreciate questions and I want to respond to that. So I make it short though, because I know we're already 40 minutes. That's a long session. But I recognize that it's a question of interest for many of you. So, and I'm happy to take extra time. So, is it going to slow down the transitions? Uh, the answer to that is probably yes and no. Yeah, probably yes and no. So yes, because with okay, if for example it happened to be in the European countries where the Russian gas has been cut off, because Russia has been cutting off gas supply to some of this country, you need immediately to find an alternative, something that's going to replace that. And in many of these cases, which means maybe potentially reopening, right? Some fossil fuel power plant that were closed because at the time they were not only expensive but also they were also polluting a lot. But at the same time, we're living in a life of, as I always say, services of convenience. Everything we do, for even what I'm doing today, is only possible because power this action, right? Without electricity, I'm not able to speak to you today. Yeah. So it's such a basic need that all of us have right now, especially in society that we have right now, that when it happens to be without it or you have a shortage, right, you need to find a way to replace it immediately. So in that sense, it was slowed down because all of a sudden, and it happened to you as you've seen that, right? They've decided to up on the reserve of oil because they needed to fight against inflation. They're not so much procuring anything from Russia. It was more like one of the consequences, inflation was going even higher. Inflation was already creeping up even before the war, probably because it was in preparation of the war, I guess. But now, obviously, it's being sort of going off the roof these days. To tap into that, because it's about the living standard of people. So yeah, how do you control costs, right? Prices. So they have to reopen old stations that were closed or even reserve. So that's the yes part, yeah. So I'm just making it short. So I would invite you to look at videos that we've done in the past. I think we've done a couple videos, and you can have a more detailed answer. So no, because on the long term, people understand that. Listen, effectively, if we had boosted renewable long time before, especially Europe has boosted, a lot more before, right? They would not be in such a situation right now, right? So they wouldn't be so much dependent on Russia to provide the gas, and that they'll be slightly less affected. So in that sense, what are they doing right now? They're accelerating the pace of renewable, even boosting it even more, because they want to be able, especially now they're preparing for next winter. Because now in Europe, obviously, we're going progressively to a summer. But next winter, September, they now want to accelerate. That means that by September, they have new sources coming on. So there are projects, I'm sure, that one plan to, come on grid before another 1 or 2 years. Now they're being accelerated to make sure that they can mitigate. In that sense, clearly will accelerate the transition in the European Union. But if you compare the two together, I still believe that on average, it tends more to accelerate and slow down the transition, right? It's a little bit of a hiccup at the moment, bringing a temporary headache, but clearly it's still going to favor and accelerate this the sector going forward. So that's the way I look at the situation, and clearly it's also going to do that. And what happened in those major countries, the US, the Europe, right? Uh, these kind of countries would tend to accelerate other region, right? Because many of those big companies comes from, or those international companies, global companies come from those places, right? So whatever is decided there tends to have repercussion everywhere else. Yeah. So that was what I can say in response to that. So I believe that was the last question, and I think we 46 minutes already, guys. That's probably one of the longest live I've done. So hopefully you've enjoyed the session. So hopefully we've responded to your question. I told you that I'm going to be dropping 2 links below, right? Just give me a little bit of time. I paste 2 links, on the 2 courses. The number one, if you're coming from another sector, you want to jump into renewables, but you need to understand what is the pathway to follow. What is the path that Tony actually follow to go from automotive to where it is right now. So you can tap into that course, right? So it's a 90-minute course. That's going to be the first link I'm going to share. And the second one, for people to say, hey, I'm interested particularly with solar. I want to become a solar entrepreneur because I want to build a business myself. I'm already in the sector. Or maybe I want to jump into the sector, but I want to work directly for myself. That course, that second link that I'm going to give you as well, right? This is a slightly longer course, 30 hours. Will give you all the knowledge that you need to be able to build that. It's almost like if you wanted to build a utility solar project, even a small solar project, what are the steps that you need to go through? This is what that course is going to give you. So hopefully this makes sense. So hopefully that was interesting enough for you. If it is, guys, I like to see a lot of yeses, right? A lot of comment after I left, right? And also make sure that you share, because like I say, one thing you can already do is just keep on sharing, information, keep on inviting more people to join the live, right? So we can talk more and we can have some vital information like what I'm sharing today. But in between then, guys, let me, for the bottom of my heart, thanking you for taking precious time of your Sunday, because you could be spending time with your family, your loved one, or do whatever you like to do, but you've chosen to come in here. And for that, I can say, guys, Reverend Tony say, thank you very much. It's very much a pleasure for me. I love having the opportunity to engage and discuss with you like that. I don't know you, but I feel like I know you. I'm not in the same house, but I feel like I'm in your house. I love it. And then keep doing it, guys. And the next live, as you will know, would be on Wednesday with 5:30 BST time. You have to convert it into your own time. And then feel free to keep on suggesting what you would like us to talk about as a topic. Feel free to reach out if you are interested, maybe to intervene in the live. We'll be happy to do so. But in between, guys, like I usually say, right? It was a pleasure talking to you, and may the sun be with you guys. Get better.